Stop chasing, man. Y'all get on there. Y'all get on there. Apologize for my tardiness, but I had a few things I had to take care of. That was going a little over, so we 5 minutes behind, but we gonna get into it. All right, we're gonna get into the levels, get into some of these profitable setups that are taking place. But let me know where y'all chiming in from. Let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know where your mind's at, where your heart's at. All right, George, what up, man? How you feeling? Liz, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Doop. That's all I need from y'all. Pamela, how you feeling? Ash Cash, how you doing? How's your spirit feeling today, Ashley? S. Dot, what up? Alchemist, how you feeling, bro? Billy, what's going on, man? QTZ in the building, how you feeling? All right. All right, y'all. So I'm looking at the, and I'm not showing my chart right now, but I'm looking at the market, and I'm seeing a few things that's taking place. Shout out to everybody that took Google. Shout out to everybody that took Google. It's arguably we got out a little too early. But again, I was trying to be on the safe side for everybody. It looks like it came to our first target. We took profits a little bit before that. It's actually through the first target. So it is possible that it wants to go and get 312.32. So we'll talk about that a little bit later about if we want to re-enter or not. But everybody that took Google with us on live yesterday, it is impossible for you to be down. It's impossible for you to be down. All right, it's not possible. If you took it with us yesterday, it's impossible. All right, Ant, what up, man? Darrell, how you feeling, man? PG in the building. You already know, S. Dot. You already know. All right. Again, as y'all come in here, just make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Never going to gatekeep any levels, any information that you need. Just don't gatekeep the likes. Doop. All right. Let's see, man. All right. So today early on, I would say for the past 2 weeks, y'all. Would y'all say we've been getting the moves in the afternoon? Straight up. It's like it ain't been happening early. All the moves been happening in the afternoon. All right, Google, waited till the afternoon to start pushing. Let's see what else is moving here. Oh man, Coin made a big move. Okay. Coin made a big move. What else? And Palantir is rejecting. I like all of this stuff. This all looks good to me. JP Morgan. Okay. All right. Let's see who else in here. Stefan, what's going on? The first J was goody. He said, feeling really great, spirit feeling calm and peaceful. Thanks for. There we go. That's what I like to hear, Ash. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, man. Man, so many amazing things are taking place in my life right now. And I know it's a result of just, little things that I'm doing behind closed doors. You know what I mean? So seeing that in real time, it feels great. It feels great. You know what I'm saying? Ozone Oso, what it do? All right. So look, I'm gonna get into the charts. I ain't gonna delay y'all. It's good to see that y'all are all feeling good though. I will say this though. I do wanna make a point of this, y'all. And this is what today's video is gonna be about that I drop after this. But since I got y'all on live, I might as well just tell y'all because I just recorded. You know what I'm saying? The market is divided, y'all, into great days, not so great days, and terrible days, right? Great days, not so great days, terrible days. Well, great days, good days, not so great days, and terrible days. All right, so 4. All right, they're not equally divided either. And the reason that it's like this is because there are only maybe like 3 to 4 weeks where you can get opportunities that are like just unprecedented, unprecedented opportunities to really make some money, right? And this obviously this varies based on what the type of market that we're in, bear market, bull market, etc. But for the most part, 3 to 4 weeks is what you're gonna get throughout the year for great trading. All right. The name of the game is to survive until that point. There are times in the market where a 5th grader could make money. I'm gonna be real with you. And we love those times, but the reason that a lot of people don't get to those times or get to enjoy those times is because they burnt out by the time they come around. They overtraded, they traded too much, they lost their money. You know what I'm saying? They did way too much early on, so that by the time that time came around, they were exhausted. All right. So I want y'all to understand the importance of not over trading and not feeling bad about something that might have happened a little later. So, for example, I'm looking at Google. Google went a little bit through our first target. I seen somebody in the group that was just like, I should have held on. I get it. I get how you feel that way. I get how you can look at something and be like, damn, that would have been great profits. Nothing wrong with that. Very human, right? However, you have to be able to quickly be like, all right, but whatever. I didn't do that. And quickly let it go. Because if you allow that to fester and then you're faced with a decision to not take a trade or not stay in a trade or get out, not get out of a trade, the next time you're gonna be like, well, that Google play worked out and it was looking like this, so I'm gonna stay in it. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna get screwed, I promise you. All right? It's in the winning that you're set up for the losing. It's in the little like, okay, this worked out. All right, I'm clocking this in my mind. You don't even realize you're doing this, but you're clocking it in your mind like, okay, this worked out. So the next time I see this, it's called pattern recognition. So the next time I see it do like this, that means that it's only doing like this for a little bit and it's going to work out later. No, it does not. It does not. If something is not moving in the manner that it typically moves based off of what pattern it's in, right? It is important that you still honor yourself and get out of that trade, and you can always re-enter. We could have, even with Google, you could have re-entered that once it broke the level. But if you're not sitting and watching it all day, then it's not something that you might have caught or whatever, right? But don't get in the habit of like, oh, that worked out that last time, so the next time that I see that, I'm gonna stay in. That's when you're gonna lose the most. All right. It's never gonna be a time where we catch every play exactly to the T of how we drew it out. But it doesn't mean that we don't win. It doesn't mean that we don't win overall or win that day. All right. We got out of today profitable, right? We got out a little bit early. I think most people took like between 14 and 20% on Google. I've seen some people with a little bit more. That's a win. Right? Now, you're looking at something in hindsight, so that's the reason it looks so clear. But we don't know what's going to happen because we're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not psychic, right? So there's no way that we know what's going to happen. So we have to make decisions that are smart for us. And if we be like, oh, I'm just going to stay in longer next time. I hear a lot of people say that. I'm like I just got to stay in longer next time. I'm just going to stay in. I'm not saying that don't get yourself to a place where you learn how to hold trades, but you got to understand the market that you're in. In the same way that Google slowly melted up to being up like 1.3%, it could have also fell straight through to that fair value gap and fell even more and went into the red, right? So in times like this, when it's not easy to trade, the point that I'm making is that don't even worry about getting more than than what you're shown, right? If it starts getting funny, just take it off. If the action starts getting super weird and you're seeing a consistent rejection at a certain level, take it off. We cannot predict the future. All right, this is not to make you worried or scared or anything like that. But it's like we were in a swing trade and we were having bad price action, right? Anybody that stayed in past when we got out, they were kind of like being a little risky. Yes, was the structure still being held? Absolutely. And I know I tell you guys like, okay, we can hold through structure, but when we're in a market where structure is getting blown up, right, and you're getting the signs that structure is getting ready to get blown up, then you get out. And as a matter of fact, we saw Google go down to like 0.2 multiple times today. So you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that that might have wound up losing money waiting for it to go higher. Then it came down, and then later it came up. All right. With all the things that are happening this week, I just don't think it's a great idea to like hold things too much longer unless you're getting that momentum. Like we had low volume. Nothing was there that was saying like, this could explode. So again, like it did wind up going up to like 1 point something, which probably would have took you from being up, 15 to 20% to maybe being up maybe like 40%, 40 to 50%, depending on how theta was impacted. All right. But it took all day to get to 1.30. That's not a breakout like like it should have, right? When you look at it now, it's a full bullish confirmation candle, right? Which could lead to us possibly going even higher tomorrow, right? But again, with FOMC coming up, quad witching, I just like to get out early during this time. And again, it's gonna be some times where y'all seen it in the past. Y'all seen me make plenty of honey buns. Y'all seen me make plenty of 200-300% plays. But there's a little bit less of them right now just because of the environment that we're in. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all remember that. Like don't get into a habit of staying in something too long. You said it sounds like you want to exit. If you're green, stay green. Yeah. There's always another. 100% straight up. Amani, how you feeling? Yeah. We knew Liz been talking about MU for a while. We knew that was gonna get the all-time highs when we went over it. So yeah, she been talking about. You said I see what you mean on Google. Based on the technicals, it should have been moving faster. It sounds like. So it wasn't necessarily. Yeah, and like I said, you could have stayed in, but sometimes it's not even about is this going to work out. It's about the headache that you endure in waiting for it. And if we're ever in weeklies, right? Then that can be a headache. If we were in Google and it was out for a few weeks or months, then it'd be like, all right, man, like the drawdown ain't gonna be that crazy. But the way that it was kicking down today, like it would have given you a headache. It would have like drained your mental capacity. You would have been like, man, I'm not trying to deal with this, right? So we just had to get up out of there. We made money, so there's never anything bad about making money. All right, I'm not trying to, yeah. You said stay in Google or exit. I mean, hey, what's your profit, Facts? You said you only got about 10%. Yeah. What's your profit, Facts? There you go, Amani. Nah, it's my pleasure, Amani. I'm glad to be able to be here and sharing the things that I've experienced with y'all. And look, as y'all continue to come in, hit that doop for me one time, all right? Exactly, Natalie. You said waited it out on Google and got 35%. Okay, nice. When did you enter A Wonder? Because I was gonna say if you waited it out and you got 35% at where it's at right now, that sounds like a headache almost. Because it's like that's not much more than what most of us got out at. So that just I'm not saying that it wasn't a good play. What I'm saying is that like um it was a hard fight for that 35%. And if 35% is all that came out of it being up one something, then that shows that theta was at work pretty heavy. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing, y'all. Like when we go up and down and up and down and up and down, like it was doing, that's the rockabye baby right there, right? That's rocking you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That I could use another word, the Chris Brown song, right? But that's what's going on. You know what I mean? So if you allow that to happen for long enough, every time it comes back to where it fell from, it's going to be less valuable. So if you were up 20% and then it drops, you know what I'm saying? Like it drops like a dollar or something like that, then it comes back. Now you might only be up like 18%. Then it drops and now you might only be up like 15%. Then it drops. Now you might only be up like 11%, which is why by the time it's up one something, it may not be that much more profit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you go through a headache holding a stock and wind up getting not that much more profit, even though it made a even bigger move. So we got out, I would say at the opportune time because we didn't sit through a whole lot of theta burning our premiums. You know what I'm saying? Like it made its move. We took it around the height of that candle. I was like, man, that's cool. I'm cool with that. All right. So you said I wondered if it's possible. You said enter yesterday before you entered on live. Okay, so it's did you have out of the money contracts? A1? Okay. Okay. Um Uber for puts. You see some resistance? All right. All right, yeah, I just wanted to drop that on y'all real quick. We're gonna get into the levels and just like it's starting to click. Not to take a trade every day, even when you're winning. I'm telling you, y'all, like I said, you got to think about it. If you can remember that the winning is a great thing, right? But winning when you don't feel that great about it, meaning like it was a hard fight, or you won low key by luck and you can't really identify exactly why something went to where it did. That type of winning is setting you up for a loss. All right? It's setting you up for a loss. You have to let people win in order to rob them later, right? You have to give in order, for that setup because people have to feel comfortable and hopeful. It's the same reason that when it's like nothing can be all bad and still retain people. Right? So the news, even though we be like, oh man, the news, it's like it's not good to watch the news all day because it's negative images and all that stuff. That is very true, but they're keeping a ratio of fear and hopefulness. So news is very intentional. It wants you to be more fearful than hopeful, but because that allows it to control, but still hopeful so that you're just not completely giving up on consuming, right? Or life, right? It's like they want you here, but just kind of in a sedated, like kind of a state, right? So when you think about any sort of institution, their job is to control. Their job is to make sure that they are winning, they are getting the lion's share. So you have to understand how to navigate that. It's not a whole lot that you can do about how this particular matrix is set up, but you can navigate in a way that allows you to come out unscathed or not as badly hurt, right? Let's see. I've had a Had to sit still and wait until later in the day to trade. Everything I trade in the morning is rushing. Yeah. You gotta, it says, yeah. Yeah. You said winning is not losing. Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. 1,000 proof. What's going on? Doop! You already know, man. Drop that light. You're like, yep, I knew he had out the money because, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say it should have been a little bit more if you were just recently getting out. All right, but let's see what's going on over here, y'all. I'm gonna flip over to these charts real quick. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so you said Uber. Hmm. And what are you seeing Uber rejecting at? Where you saying Uber reject? You said every time you lose. What's been your biggest struggle for Ever Free Fitness? Okay, so Trent, you said you see some resistance. Um, yeah, this could be a little. Oh no, you know what? I'm tripping. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong candle. Hold on. Yeah, there could be a reversal taking place right here. Um, on the 2 hour, there could be an opportunity for a possible play on this fair value gap. Let me look at the 4 hour. Yeah, Pearson. Yeah, this could be something. Failed to deal. No, let me see on the one. Yeah, I wouldn't rush to get pushed just yet because we getting the fail 2D on the hourly, um, right off of order block. So it's not a clean put just yet, and we got this fair value gap. Yes, it's not a clean put just yet. Yes, it is rejecting, but that's also something that I want to get y'all to understand, right? And I understand the stage that everybody is in their trading and stuff like that. But when something starts moving in a particular direction, a lot of times we get excited. We be like, ooh, such and such is moving. Or if it's going down, we be like, ooh, it's falling. But what we got to understand is that like we got levels and we got structure and all of that stuff of where we're going to enter. So something could be moving. It can be going up. It could be going down. Whatever. That's just what stocks do. It's literally only going to go up or down. So most likely it's going to be moving all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to be consolidating, which we know to stay away from. But even when something is moving up or down, it's like we can't let that excitement cause us to make a decision because think about it. If something moving up is like, ooh, I'm gonna get in, it's moving up, or ooh, is bouncing off of something, ooh, it's rejected. It's like if that excitement leads to you making a decision, you know what that means? That means you just made an emotional decision. Think about it, right? So again, I understand a lot of people there are people at various levels, but I always got to bring the real for you to understand how to start thinking about this stuff so that as you grow, you're not growing with bad habits because you can practice the wrong way and now you just got a permanent like bad habit and you're really good at a bad habit, right? So it's not just that practice makes perfect, it makes permanent. So we got to make sure that we're practicing correctly. We got to make sure that we are approaching the market in the right way and thinking the right way. All right, so when something moving, I want y'all to practice not getting excited. Like it's moving, but it ain't coming to my level yet. It's moving, but it ain't break what I drew out yet. So it's just moving. When you can start to think in that manner, Like you going this whole game is just going to slow down so much for you. It can seem chaotic when you feel like you just think about you just. I'm in the desert right now, right? I'm standing in this little home in Joshua Tree right now, right? And I go out in the morning and I have my tea, and I see like 10 rabbits in the front yard. Now, rabbits are quick as hell, right? And there's no way that I could probably even catch one rabbit, to be real, let alone 2 to 3 different rabbits that are going in different directions at different speeds. But because they move, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to catch them. That's chaotic, right? But if I had me a little trap and it was sitting right next to me, and it had some I don't know, what do rabbits eat? Carrots? Is that real? Do they really eat carrots? I don't know. But whatever rabbits eat, let's just say I had a trap sitting right here next to me, and it had all their favorite meals just sitting in there. But the moment that they got into that trap, all I had to do was just step on a little button, you know what I'm saying? And it closed the rack, and they're mine. It's the same way with a trade, yo. It's like these stocks, there's too many things that cause them to go in a certain direction at a given time. And if every single time it starts to move, we like, we're gonna be exhausted, yeah. We're not gonna catch anything, and we're gonna be exhausted. All right. So what we gotta do is we gotta set traps, and we let them fall into our trap. We let them come into our work. All right? And we're not settling for nothing less. It's just what it is. He said, unless you Goku. No push. Exactly, right? That's hilarious. What up, Jamie? How you feeling? You're like, you saved me this morning from doing something stupid. I had FOMO like a junkie this morning. A1000 proof, man. Look, this is what it's about, man. I'm telling you, the patience part of anything is what allows it to grow into something beautiful. When I look back, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20, right? When I look back at failed relationships, when I look back at anything that didn't necessarily go right, you know what was always present? A lack of patience. Sometimes it might have been me. Sometimes it might have been them. But what it was somebody reaching a point where they could no longer wait for whatever reason for things to shift a little bit. They could no longer wait to see what the result was going to be. And sometimes we got to do that. Sometimes we do got to cut, right? Sometimes we do got to be like, man, forget the patience. I'm cutting, and I'll figure it out later, right? But a lot of times, like, again, it's easier to be patient when you're not in the trade. So instead of trying to be patient through a trade, be patient for the trade to come to you, so that then you can go ahead and strike and be able to chill. You know what I'm saying? But patience is going to take you further than anything in life. I'm gonna be real. I know y'all have heard of the bamboo analogy, right? How bamboo sits underground. It grows underground for 2 years. Could you imagine watering something for 2 years and you don't see a single thing above the surface? And then all of a sudden you got, something that erupts 10, 12 feet in the air, sometimes higher, right? So yeah, we just gotta, like, patience. Anything you can do off the charts to be patient, man, work that muscle. Work your patience muscle. All right. Let's see. All right. NVIDIA was something that a lot of people were talking about. CEO, he said inference demand has arrived, doubling prior demand outlook for Blackwell and 1 trillion through 2027. Yeah, I mean, again, y'all, news comes in, CEOs talk, but technicals really do the walking. You know what I mean? Like there will be an excitement from any sort of announcement from a CEO or an analyst or a president or whatever. But what things always get back to, because the market has a mind of its own, is the technicals. So look, it's starting to make its way down, yo. Nvidia is starting to make its way down. We still got this bear flag drawn. So again, I'm simply waiting for the breakout. All right. And again, there could be setups better, because even once it breaks out, it's right inside of institutional buying. Right. But when it does clear that, when it does get through that, I think we could see it fall pretty heavy. Again, unless something is absolutely like clean, I'm not taking it in these conditions. All right, so we'll go through what I'm looking at. We'll scour through a bunch of what y'all want to see. But again, it gotta be a pristine setup in order for us to take it in this market, and we're also going to be looking, to peel profits as early as it makes sense. All right. So y'all let me know in the comments which y'all want me to analyze, and we can get into that. 176 and got 56%. You got 56%. Hey, Fats, I take profit, brother. I would take profit, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would take profit. Like going into FOMC tomorrow and you got 56%, you won. You won. And again, I want y'all to understand this. Like, it could continue to go, but I'm trying to teach you like how to. Every day when we're trading, we're faced with a decision. It's like, do I take the trade? Do I not take the trade? Do I take profits? Do I not take profits? I'm trying to train your mind to go with the highest probability. So if you got to move and we've already hit a target, right? The likelihood of going and hitting the next target immediately is much lower than it is just hitting that first target. The more time you spend in a trade, statistically, the odds of you winning it goes down. I mentioned this in my last video. Y'all gotta go watch that. 10 secrets of the stock market that you may not know. Right? There's something called the 3 push rule. And a lot of times when something breaks out, it'll give you 3 pushes. Now, I know looking at it on a daily, you might be like, okay, well, that means that tomorrow and the day after should be good on Google. And it may be, right? We don't have, if we're looking at Google, we don't have resistance until, well, resistance would be about 311, right? Y'all, one thing about being in the desert, every now and then, no matter how beautiful the place is, you're gonna find a little spider somewhere. You're gonna see a little spider or a little something crawling. Let's see. Yeah, so there's resistance up at about like 311. The next target is about 312.32. Again, it could get there, right? It could get there. It could absolutely get there. But I would much rather you secure over 50% of profits than to wait for that. Right? Because again, we could open up tomorrow with a completely dropped market and everybody like literally like taking profits, getting out of their positions, awaiting this decision. So even though this is a clean setup and it probably will continue to work out, but there could be a little obstruction to this momentum prior to prior to you taking profits, and then it could ruin it. It could throw your whole, you might be up 56%, then you open up tomorrow, you up like maybe like 10%. And now you're like, damn, I should have took profits. Right? That go back to the hindsight being 2020 thing. So if you're up 56%, it's like, is that not enough for you? I would just ask you that question. All right. And again, this is not it's not always going to be like this in the market. It's just where we currently are in the market. All right, so let's see. SanDisk, NBIS, and Apple. All right, I'm glad to read that y'all are not in trades. I'm glad to read that y'all are not in trades. All right. Let's see. I do see a nice rejection happening on Palantir though. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go right into SanDisk. Yeah, I think SanDisk is ready to come down. I think SanDisk is ready to start falling down. I look at it on the 4 hour. It is holding its fair value gap, so we got to be careful. We got to wait for a confirmation. Again, that most likely won't happen today, unless this just falls through the ceiling and creates like a bearish engulfing. But I doubt that happens. So right now, SanDisk is not really clean enough for me to make a decision about a swing. So I'm gonna move past that one. NBIS and Apple. NBIS failed 3/4 of the way through the fair value gap. About a little less than a quarter left to go. Down, 13%. Yeah, there's nothing here that I'm interested in, right? It could jump tomorrow, but there's no clear indication of whether it's gonna continue downward. Because again, we are approaching the bottom of the fair value gap where a major decision would be made. Hard to say whether it's going to continue or whether it's going to pop up. So again, I base my swings off the daily time frame, y'all. Sometimes I look at lower time frames to see if we have a good entry, going into it. But yeah, there's nothing here that says this is something to go enter now. All right, Apple. Yeah, Apple. It fell out of its bear flag. Um, Made it down to the first target at the bullish order block. Came up, rejected off of this fair value gap. It's closing with a higher high and a lower low today, probably. But as the candlestick stands right now, it has a pretty strong wick. Not something I would be comfortable getting into the upside. I don't really see anything here on Apple. I don't really see anything here on Apple. I wouldn't take that. Let's see. Again, y'all, if you're just joining, welcome. Hit that like button for me. Doop! One time, that's all I ever ask, right? I never gatekeep any levels. Just don't gatekeep those likes. Also, I need y'all to understand this and understand this clearly. All right? Please understand that this live, right, this broadcast is for entertainment purposes only. All right? I'm not a financial advisor, so that means that I can't be giving you financial advice. Anything that you are inspired to do as a result of tuning into this broadcast, you are doing so with your own brain, using your own due diligence and your own research to execute. Okay? You're not doing it because I am advising you to do so. I just want to make sure that we're clear on it. All right? All right, let's get back to it. All right, let's see what else y'all want to see. Here we go. I already know what Liz gonna request before she even say it. Liz gonna have the two M's. And you know what's so funny? They right next to each other in my watch list too. That's hilarious. Right? I mean, obviously alphabetical order, but these joints is right here. Meta and MU. Let's see. Meta. Okay. Now, Meta could be giving us something. If we get this 3 down on Meta, right? If we close in a 3 down, a 3 down candle, then I'd be very interested in Thursday possibly being like a 2 down. That also will depend on what type of information we get tomorrow for FOMC. But yeah, we got something brewing with Meta. It's not quite there yet, but we could have a 3-2 setup brewing if this closes in a 3 bar and it's not really much of a wick. Yeah, we could see something showing up for Meta. But yeah, there's nothing to take today. Let's go to MU. MU just been going, and they got earnings tomorrow. What's y'all prediction? Which y'all think? MU has already made new highs prior to, so it broke highs today, right? It retested highs yesterday. It broke highs today. With earnings, what do y'all think it's going to do? You said it seems like large percentage trades usually happen quickly with less risk. If you try to wait on 100% in a trade, then you're exposed. 100%. Exactly, what? Exactly. And like I said, you can do waiting when you have an expiration date that's out, a little further, and your drawdown is less, right? That also allows your theta to breathe a little bit, and it doesn't take you out. But there's something called net present value that we learned in business school, right? And basically, the net present or the net present value or the time value of money, right? This is stating that your money is worth more sooner than it is later, right? So when people ask about, oh, would you, if you won a lottery or whatever, would you take the payout of such and such per month for life, or would you like all the lump sum? And some people think it's irresponsible to take a lump sum, and they be like, oh man, lump sum, like, no, it's no way, man. You got to keep that money coming. Well, there's two reasons why lump sums are the best way, right? And I'm gonna loop this back into profit, right? There's two reasons. So when you get a lump sum, especially if you understand like how to park it, you're always going to make out way better than you would with the payout. So with the lottery, say you won $100 million, they're like, all right, we're going to pay you like, I don't know, $80,000 a month for the rest of your life. Well, the rest of your life could be next week. That's one thing. And there's a formula that you can use for whatever your health level is to determine like your likelihood of life expectancy, right? Like how long you going to live based on how you living right now, right? So that let's just say you're a 50-year-old man. 20 years of getting paid that is not going to equal what you could have made in the lump sum, right? Then on top of that, you get the lump sum of $100 million, just a 10% annuity, right? Just a 10% annuity on $100 million is $10 million a year. So in a year, in your first, I mean, really your first payment is going to supersede, right, what you would have made in multiple years getting paid whatever that monthly payout was. All right. An annuity you can also assign, right? So that money can go into a trust. That money can go on to and continue in your family and stuff like that, right? So the point that I'm making is that like sometimes like getting something all at once might seem irresponsible, but when you have something now, it's usually worth more than what it will be later because of inflation and all that stuff. So it's the same thing with with taking profits. Even if I have something out, a few months or weeks or whatever, if I get a serious run up on my money now, right? Like we get like when we like with Netflix, the reason that we got out of Netflix, after like a few pumps, was because it was like, yo, like yeah, we got it out, we got it out, we had it. Like if we were still in Netflix, we still the expiration still wouldn't have hit yet for the dates that we got for Netflix. We got it out to May, so May still isn't here yet, but we got out. The reason is because we avoided theta, and we gotta increase or an acceleration of our delta, which is called gamma, right? So when your delta accelerates or grows because of a fast pacing like price, it makes sense to take it now, and then you can figure out the rest later. But now, always more times than not, now is way better than later when it comes to money. That's why they say like income loves speed, right? It's like yeah, you get if you got to choose between a monthly payout for the rest of your life and a lump sum, if you know how to invest, right? Even if you're a basic level investor, there are very slow vehicles that you can put it into that will pay you way, even if like I said, if the payout, if you could split it up with annuities and dividends, and you would never have to work another day in your life, right? So just something to think about. So again, when it comes to the profits, the whole point that I'm making is that when it comes to profits, when you get the early move, the early profits, a lot of times it's best to just go ahead and secure it, because you don't know what's you don't know what's going to happen next. All right. He said also seems like the move would happen overnight, and once the market opens, it consolidates and burn. Exactly. I'm glad to hear that, Jamie. That's good. That's what we here for. That Google Play hit hard, got out early though, so I didn't get the big move. It's all good, man. Sometimes we gonna miss the big move, American Khalifa. I could look back and be like, damn, I could have got more, but 20%, not mad at that, right? Well, I got 14%. So a play like that, that's like, again, we all take different risks and stuff like that, but 14%, that's going to be about $1,400. You know what I'm saying, when I'm running a play. So I'm not mad at that. It's like, and just to wake up, right? So we gotta really understand what that means, y'all. 20%, 14%, 15, 20. You know what I mean? Like, this is all good stuff. It's not gonna be a home run every day, and I need y'all to understand that. Y'all see me on here going crazy when we get the honey buns and all of that stuff, but I also know when it's not honey bun season, right? When it's honey bun season, you're gonna know. All right, Natalie, how you feeling? Do you have a video on pre-market / post-market activity? Um, do I have one? I'm almost at 600 videos, man. Um, that's crazy to even say. I don't know. I'm not sure. I might do one. What are you trying to understand about it? What are you trying to understand about the? But you said you're at MU till next week. Should you sell it? Um, here go the thing. Here go the thing, Liz. MU does have the potential to go crazy because it is such a coveted stock, right? It is such a coveted stock. it came off the double bottom and it broke highs. All right. If it closes above highs, it could continue to float just off technicals. And we don't know what they're going to report. They could report something crazy, and it could go. It could go. I'm not gonna lie to you. It could go silly, and it could possibly be one of your biggest paydays. I'm gonna be real, but I also do not have a crystal ball. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a crystal ball, and I cannot tell you. So now that we are outside of highs, this is typically what people do when highs are taken out, right? When highs are taken out, you no longer have levels, right? You're kind of feeling your way through the market. So there's no more levels. So you can't be like, oh, it's about to reach resistance. Nobody really knows when it's going to reach resistance. You can only read price action when you get above highs. There's nothing to look over to the left about, right? It's at the highest it's ever been. So a rule of thumb for, more expensive stocks is like $10 to $20 increments. It already made a $20 move today. So, I mean, with earnings, it could go, I'm not gonna lie, it could go crazy, but I can't tell you. It would literally be you deciding if you have enough profit or not. I'm not gonna lie to you. It would be a complete guess. Anybody that tells you that it's not a complete guess is lying, because there's no way to tell. There's nothing over here. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing over here. It just made a new all-time high. Does it now, based off of technicals, is it bullish? Yes. When you close bullish above a high, that is considered a breakout. So technically, it will continue. And then if you're following the 3 push rule, it should get 3 more candles, right? If it closes like this, it should get about 3 more days of going in this direction. So, it's a hard one to call. It really just depends on what your price points were. Did you recently get them? Right? Did you buy this week? If you bought this week, then you may essentially be like overpaying. So you could get caught up in the value of the actual contracts going down after earnings. IB crush and all that good stuff. You got it till next week. When did you get in, Liz? What do I think about JPM upside? All right, let's see. I mean, JPM is in a downtrend. So just a quick and easy way to just kind of get an idea, what's next on JPM is to just draw that front line. All right. So when it can break out of here, then you can start thinking about the upside. Until then, I wouldn't even be thinking about the upside. I wouldn't even be considering the upside until it breaks out of there. All right. I got myself into an Oxy call. You're down 50%, but your contract expires 3/27. Any idea if it can recover? Natalie, what you mean you got yourself into an Oxy call? Let me go see what Oxy is. You said you have it until March 27th and you're up 150? Hmm? I'm not sure what you meant by that. But yeah, Trent, we'll just continue to like draw your trend line on JPM and just continue to revisit it. Once it breaks it, then that opens up a new conversation. Oxy, I mean, yeah, Oxy looks like it's holding this this fair value gap right here. It could pump. Let me see. It could it's on the 3 up on the weekly. So, you know, you may not be in complete trouble if you got it till next week. You could hold through a little bit longer. Um let me see if I can find you like a but if it breaks below this candle right here, like if it gets under like 56.50, I would start to strongly consider getting out of it because then it could probably come and fill this gap right here. So 56.50 would be my out for Oxy if I was holding. Okay. American. Hold on, so you're up 150. I thought you said you were down 50%. I'm confused. All right. All right, XLE, let's see. XLE. I do want to see if we can find a play, y'all. Like, if it's not there, we won't force it. But I do want to see if we can find one. I think some of these crypto stocks might be good, good plays. But we'll see. Okay, XLE. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything on XLE. We could be due for a little bit of a pullback, right? It's obviously remaining in an uptrend, but it has its pullbacks every so often. So we could be getting one of those soon, but I don't see anything like clean on XLE that'd be interested in taking. So, um, my bad. Yeah, I don't see anything clean on XLE here. It's starting to reject on the day. We got about 28 minutes left in the market. 27 minutes. Not really seeing anything like this. This tends to go up, pull back, go up and pull back in a consistent trend. It could be wanting to pull back to this fair value gap, but yeah, it's nothing here that really says like take it in either direction. It isn't an overall uptrend, but it looks like it's at the top wave of the of its at the top of its wave. So it looks like the next thing will be a pullback to this uptrend line. And I can draw a trend line. Just starting at this fair value gap. And we'll just connect these 2 points. So trend lines, y'all. Trend lines also can help you for bounces and rejections. It doesn't always have to be change of direction in terms of like a complete breakout of it. The change of direction is always going to be the best move because you have a further way to go. But if you see that something is like pumping and then pulling back and tapping off of that trend line, then you could wait to the next tap. So this next tap looks like it might come in the next 2 days, right down to this fair value gap, which it will probably bounce off of, and you could take it up from there. So as it stands right now, it's nothing really clean on it, but yeah, a pullback on this down to the fair value gap could be a nice call if you get a reversal signal there. All right. Miss Fruitful in the building. How you feeling? My day has been wonderful. You said it's out of the money contract and I will have it until March 27th. I'm up 150 in profit. I'm driving. Hold on. Oh, I'm tripping, yo. Hey, yo. I'm sitting. Hey, look, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what Natalie talking about. Y'all got a similar picture. Like when you just quickly glance at it, when you look at it, obviously you see the difference. But when you quickly glance, I see Natalie and I see like the real Liz like talking, right? But I'm looking at, I see the picture. So I thought that Natalie was saying that she was down 50%, but she's up 150. And I didn't realize that it switched to, I didn't realize it was Liz. So I'm sitting here like, hold on, what are you talking about? Okay, so Liz is in profit, Natalie is down 50%. Got it. Okay. All right. Um, yeah, Liz, like I said, it would be completely up to, up to you, and if you want to take on the risk. Um, the beautiful thing is that you can always just take profit, and guess what that guarantees? That you'll be in profit. So if you in profit and you take profit right now, that guarantees that you will end this trade in profit. If you stay in the trade, you could go into even more profit, but guess what? There's a risk when you hold it overnight that you wake up and you lost your profit. So you just have to ask yourself, like, is more profit worth my current profit? And what do I see as the potential for that more profit? Right? And you gotta sit with yourself and decide how you want to approach it. Yeah, they low key look alike, right, Trent? I'm sitting here talking to Natalie, thinking I'm talking to Liz, or I'm talking to Liz, thinking I'm talking to Natalie. That's crazy. All right. I said you're gonna hold it. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, what else I got for me? What other stocks do y'all want to see? I think let me look at some crypto ones. Let's see. Let me see what Hut 8 is doing. Because crypto's starting to heat up, y'all. Okay, it's pushing down a little bit. Let's see. What about IBIT? And then we could look at like BMNR. Oh, IBIT is looking pretty good. Hmm. It looks like it's trying to break yesterday's highs. Did it? It might have already did. Hmm. Y'all, I might take an IBIT swing. If it closes like this, I might take this. I like this right here. I like this a lot. It came and retested the fair value gap, failed to go lower. That might be one, y'all. That might be one. I'm gonna decide in about 5 minutes. Let me go look at some more crypto stocks. Yeah, we'll look at coin. Um, let's see. Lyft, AVGO. And again, y'all, I'm gonna breeze through anything that doesn't look good, just for the sake of time. Mm. Yeah, closing in the doji, it could go either way. So I'm gonna skip this one. It's closing in the doji, it could go either way. Let's see, coin. Oh, what is this? What did I just type in? Mm. Yeah, it's pretty much all doing the same thing. IBIT, IBIT will probably be the cheaper one. Let me go look at BMNR. Mm. Yeah, IBIT is. I think IBIT might be a go, yo. I like iBit, y'all. I like iBit a lot. Um, mm, yeah. So here's the iBit. iBit I like, but what I probably wouldn't take weeklies on it. Only because of like, you know what I'm saying, just like the potential of any weird thing taking place tomorrow. But I do like it. I do like it. It's broken out of this little range. Um, if it closes, it don't look like it's gonna close super high above. So there's still the potential of a fake out. Um, all right, I'm about to make a decision right now. I'm about to go off screen. I think I might wind up getting this. Give me 1 second. If I get it, I'm gonna walk you guys through it. You said hood to the downside last week was a 1 bar. Uh, all right, hood to the downside. Let me see something real quick on hood. On hood. Oh yeah. Yeah, hood could crash for sure. Um, but it has been holding. So even though it does have all these wicks, you gotta look. It's also been holding this reversal right here. So it could possibly want to retest, especially if we get some sort of good news tomorrow. So I wouldn't front run hood just yet. I would need to wait a little bit and see. But give me a second. I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go off real quick and see how I want to play this iBit. Let's see iBit real quick. All right, y'all. I'm gonna take iBit. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go iBit call options. And I'm gonna go 20. Part of me want to go like I'm gonna go 330. I'm gonna go iBit 330. 42 calls 330. I'm gonna go 42 calls 330. see something real quick. I bit 42 calls 330. Yeah. All right, let me see if I'm in. Let me see if I'm in. Did I get filled? Okay. All right, I am filled. I'm filled. I like it. I feel good about it. Yeah, I feel good about it. All right. Yeah, I'll show I bet. So we in the earlier part of a breakout. Um, I would like for it to close. If we like great news will send this through the roof tomorrow, right? So what I will say is like this is one that you can go light on, but I really have a lot of conviction on this particular trade. All right, and if we're down a little bit tomorrow, it's more likely that I'm going to add to it. So this is why I say, if you get into it, go a little bit light because what we could do is a little bit of retesting tomorrow, right? Coming, do a little bit of retesting tomorrow. That's a possibility. It could just break out. But if we do retest, I'll just add. So I'm not in my full size in this yet. Um, so I will add to this if necessary. But we could get that full breakout, early in the earlier part of tomorrow. So we'll see. But I like this trade a lot. So again, 330 expiration, 42 calls. All right. Again, y'all, this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Yep, just IBIT. Yep. Yep, I took an IBIT call. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. You said, or how far back did you look at? So I'm just all right. So let me make this smaller. We've been in this range in crypto for a while, right? We hit a very critical level down here, and and bounced and broke out, right? If you look close enough, this is a bit of a double bottom retest, right? If we can break out, which is doing right now, and close above this previous day, which it looks like it's going to do, then we could break up and immediately go hit 42.78, then 43.27, and then fill that. If we get momentum, it could go even crazier. Like crypto has been down for quite some time, as you can see, right? And it's breaking out of this range that it's been in. So once we fully get out of here, again, that's why I got it out a little bit longer. I don't have it on weeklies. All right, so be sure to follow my lead on that. Don't get the weeklies. Give this a little bit of time. This might be something that we hold through the week, possibly even next week, for this big move right here. All right, but I do like that it's breaking out here. Again, it's a little early, but I do feel confident in it. All righty. So yeah, that's that, yo. That's that. Market closes in about 9 minutes. Yeah, just IBIT. Very affordable prices too. You seen a similar play on? You said you seen a similar play on IBIT in the Discord bullseye. Hold on, let me see. The Discord called it too. Let's see. SoFi. Well, it looked like they called Netflix too. They call Palantir puts. IBIT. Okay, so it says. Oh, okay. So 417 expiration. So yeah, so I guess we on the same page in terms of getting it out a little bit further. They're saying 417, and the confidence is close to 60. So this checks out. I feel good about that. That's not bad. 60% is usually what I go for, but I mean that's close enough. And it says 1.69 in premium. So yeah, this should be a solid one, y'all. When did they call this one at 8 a.m.? Let's see what it did. Let's see what it did since 8 a.m. It went up. So, and it didn't make a big move. So yeah, maybe I don't think that the move has been made yet. I think we just needed to close above this. So this is a good thing. That makes me feel even better. All right. What else they talking about? They talking about Netflix calls for 320. This might confirm what we was looking at before. Hold on, let me look at Netflix real quick. This might confirm what we've been talking about earlier in the week or last week. Let's see. Yeah, it's a retest of this. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not going to take this because it would only be me taking it because the bullseye said so. I don't like the technicals on this just yet because it's still inside this bull flag. Again, it could bounce right here, and obviously, the bullseye is probably seeing, flow come in, and they're basing it off of that. Let me see how much flow it is though. Damn, 1.59 million spent. 7186, boy. It might not be a bad play, but again, based on technicals, I'm not gonna take it. Now, if we find ourselves bouncing tomorrow, y'all, if we find ourselves bouncing tomorrow, on Netflix, like say it opens up like slightly down, and we find ourselves bouncing, or like in the afternoon when FOMC is completed, we get that a big push, then it might not be a bad take, but yeah. Back to Liz though. I was just thinking about in the scenario that is really good, news tomorrow. That combined with earnings could be crazy. It could be a crazy pump. So we'll see. Like first price target for IBIT. First price target. I'll put it in a group, but man, I would like to see it midway through this fair value gap, about 43.26. 43.26 would be solid gains. And then top of the fair value gap, 43.90. But again, it just depends on how it opens because we might open above, above that target. Who knows? It just depends on if we get a gap up with this push. So we will see tomorrow. Again, I'm prepared to add to this if necessary. But we're gonna see. All right. All right, y'all. You said you already up on that? Oh, you took Netflix? Okay, nice. Yeah, It is pushing up. It is definitely pushing. I mean, that's high volume. So again, like there's clearly a lot of flow coming into Netflix. I just don't want to take it off of this because again it might push down a little bit more and then make the move. So we gonna see. But yeah, that's it for today, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Um, stopping through, submitting your plays that you're watching. We took iBit. We should see a decent profit on that. I'll keep y'all updated. If you're in the group, we'll update in real time. For those who are not in the group, for those who are not TPC members, that's just what that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Here go the thing. When y'all are ready, I truly believe that y'all are joining. I truly believe it. When you're ready to come, we'll be there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you're not in, that's all we can do. All right. Absolutely, Dr. Natalie. I wanted to ask you early. Are you in like therapy? Do you work as a therapist? I know you said you were a psychologist, but do you work in therapy? Or do you teach it? Like what capacity do you work in that field? I was just curious. No, for sure, gorgeous. No, always 1,000 proof for sure. Cortez, let's get it. There we go, Liz. There we go, Liz. Yeah, just iBit. Hold on, time out. Liz, you got like are you in the chat in different accounts? Because now I know I might have been tripping earlier, getting you confused with Natalie, but now I know I'm not tripping because your name didn't change. Am I tripping? Man, okay. Appreciate it, Billy. Nah, for sure, Monty. I'll see you tomorrow. No, absolutely, Joy. Yeah, I definitely. I'll see y'all. Take care. Dr. Natalie said I'm mostly a professor, but I do a little private practice therapy as well. That's awesome. Yeah, psychology was like that was like one of my favorite courses when I was in school. It was one of my favorite. It was a time where I was actually thinking about majoring in it. Um, we should do a little private practice. So as a private practice therapist, do you feel like you also need therapy, right? Because I feel like if you're listening and sharing and kind of like taking on the energy of people, do you also need like therapy specifically to kind of like get that off of you? He said I got burnt out after the 60 hours plus therapy. Oh wow, 60 hours of therapy a week. Wow, it's been rough in this country. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, would you agree that we're in like a bit of a mental health crisis? Just from my observation, I feel like that's absolutely what's going on. And I don't feel like there's enough like published about it. So it's a great career. Awesome. Appreciate it, Christopher. Appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate you, Liz, for doing that. Thank you. I appreciate you. Liz trying to confuse me. Nah, man, but I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Though, like Sally, are you rock climbing in Joshua Tree? Nah, do you know some spots I can go to, Candy? I've been mainly just kind of like just relaxing. Like when I come out here to Joshua Tree, I'm usually like chilling. I'll do like a little hike sometimes. I haven't done anything since I've been here this time. I just been literally just in the house working, relaxing, You know, taking calls, plotting, planning, all of that good stuff. Hopefully you can stay home and trade for a career in the near future. Yeah, that would be love for her, right? That's the goal, right, Dr. Natalie? Like, yes, we have been in a mental health crisis since 2016, and our communities are way, yeah. It's really sad. Um, and I don't know. I feel like the environment that we're in right now, just because when you think about studies, right? A lot of times these studies are from, you know, I remember when I was in school, like we would be looking at studies that were like 10, you know, performed like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? Um, I don't think that the studies are matching the pace of the introduction of new technology and how that is creating like pressures for various age groups, right? We used to think that it was just the kids being impacted by it, but I'm like, man, it's a lot of adults that are suffering, you know, all types of like mental illness and pressure due to just how different the world is from what they spent majority of their life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I remember like, God rest my dad's soul, but I remember he used to always get on us for, he was like, man, y'all always on social media. And towards the end of his, the last 15 years of his life, he was on social media more than anybody. You know what I mean? So it's just like, if you're already kind of dealing with some things, I feel like just like everything else that's like just kind of being like layered on are things that they haven't even had enough time to really fully study yet. So it's almost like we're in the most uncertain times when it comes to like really understanding what's wrong with somebody or what level of, you know, anxiety or depression that they may be experiencing. She said, I'm here to pay off school loans. There we go. Like the market is closed. Happy trading. Take care, Warrior. It says the Epstein files and this social media. It's a lot. It's a lot. Crazy the people who make these apps don't let exactly 1,000 proof. Great point. I remember watching a interview with Bill Gates one time, and he was talking about how I think she was like his daughter was well into her teenage years before she could even touch any sort of technology that he created. So that says a lot. It says Marcel, put DIA on our list. I'm going to do a little research on it tonight. Okay, yeah, I'll look at that list. I'll check it out for sure. All right, but yeah, now we the world can be wild out there, but there's still a lot of hope. I still believe that there's a what is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I still believe that there's like some great people still walking this earth. So um, that's what I'm seeing in Prosperity Collective. All right, but I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Y'all be easy. Remember, invest smart so you can live free. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.